What's going on, YouTube? Mr. Wheels here with my second sports talk show. Tonight, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Raptors, Toronto Blue Jays, Brooklyn Nets, and Dwight Howard. Now, starting off, the Toronto Maple Leafs. I want to tell you my thoughts on their signings that they've made so far and their team, what they're going to look like heading into next year. Now, in goal, they signed Justin Bernier. Should be a good fit with James Reimer. They should push each other. I think they gave up a little bit too much for Bernier. I don't think Matt Fratton should have been involved in that trade at all. But LA certainly gets a good forward and a decent goalie in Ben Scribbins in return, and we obviously get Bernier, who played well last season and should play well this season. Now, moving on to their defense, Dion Phaneuf, man, I want them to trade this guy. I really wish they would. He gave the puck away last year in the playoffs, the biggest game the Leafs have had in a long time. Dion Phaneuf gives the puck away in front of the whole country. This guy really hasn't had a decent season since his rookie season with Calgary. He's in the last year of a contract. I would like to see them trade him and hopefully get somebody in return for him. Moving on to David Clarkson, I like the signing, but I think they overpaid for him a little bit. I don't think he's worth $50 million in 7 years. Is just a little bit too long. I think 30 to 35 million over 5 or 6 years would have been a little better. And I think that really, put a wrinkle in the Leafs' plans to go out and get another top line center to play in front of or behind Tyler Bozak. They could have had Stephen Weiss if they would have given Clarkson just a little bit less money. Moving on to David Bolland, he's coming off a Stanley Cup win, but I really don't see him as much more than a third-line center. And, he is going to help the team, but, he's a bottom six forward, not a top six forward. And, they're going to look good with him, don't get me wrong, but, I don't see him as a top six guy. That brings me to Nazem Kadri. They're saying this guy is going to be on the second line. And the top line will consist of Bozak, Van Riemsdyk, and Lupo. I think Kessel, Lupo, and Bozak should be kept together, and it should be Kadri, James Van Riemsdyk, and David Clarkson. I think that would work a little bit better. And, all in all, the Leaf Nation has a lot to be excited about. Those were just my thoughts and opinions on what they've done so far. They're moving in the right direction. Now, let's move on to the Toronto Blue Jays, who are definitely not moving in the right direction. The month of June, they go something like 13-7 and have an 11-game winning streak that may have saved John Gibbons' job for at least another season, but they turn around in July against AL East teams and totally tank. And, Gibbons could be one of many guys to leave at the end of this season. And the bigger issue with the Jays, I find, is Brett Lawrie coming back today, playing at second base, and that brings up the question: who plays at third? Do you full time? Do you move over Edwin Encarnacion, who can play at third base? That would leave a big hole at first, leaving the job up to Adam Lind and Mark DeRosa. I really think the Jays need to go out and sign Chase Utley, and like there's been speculation that they're going to, and I just really don't see a guy like Mark DeRosa and especially Miser Turris really fitting into the Jays anymore. In the case of Miser Turris, he's made a lot of errors this season. Sure, he's hit 5 home runs, which is more than him and Reyes and Bonifacio had coming into this season combined. But, fielding-wise, they could trade DeRosa and Turris and give, or at the very least, give Munenori Kawasaki more playing time, give him more of a full-time role, even with Flory and Reyes back in the lineup. Moving on to the Toronto Raptors, finally guys, they got rid of Andrea Bargnani. And, that's exciting because it was a year of speculation, and Andrea, I really don't think wanted to be here. But, what's not really that exciting is what we got back in return for him. Quentin Richardson, okay, he's an alright player, but here's what's not really exciting. Marcus Camby, the guy that the Raptors drafted in 1996, is back with the Raptors. This guy averaged less than 2 points a game in 24 games last season. Now, he also had just over 3 rebounds a game. But, I really don't see how we got much in return for Andrea. Yes, we got draft picks, one of which is a first rounder. Yes, we got Steve Novak, but none of these guys average, even close to 10 points a game. And, so it's really hard right now to measure, who was the winner of the Bargnani trade, and right now it's probably going to go to the New York Knicks. Now, staying with the Raptors, the signing of Psycho T, Tyler Hansbrough, this is a good signing. Step in the right direction, and he's a gritty player, going to rebound for them. He's going to put up a few points. The Raptors are going to be tough to play against, but there still needs to be more moves made, and I wish the Raptors could go out and get a guy at point guard like Nate Robinson, because I'm not completely sold on a guy like Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, he was injured a lot last season, and in Robinson's case, he bounced around from a couple teams, and then in the playoffs with Chicago this season, he stepped up, and I thought he was a big reason why the Bulls had some playoff success, and I think he would be good in Toronto if there was a way to get him here. Other than that, the Raptors should try to make some cap room for the 2014 offseason, because there's a lot of free agents coming up, guys. I mean, big names, the big 3 in Miami, Paul George, Danny Granger, just to name some other ones besides Bosh, LeBron, and Wade. Now, moving on to sports south of the border, I want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Good signings with Garnett, Pierce, Terry, Andre Kirilenko, all good veteran guys. I still think they need to have some youth mixed in there. And, I'm a huge Garnett fan, but I think they're a little bit overhyped right now. people saying that they're an instant contender. Never count out the Heat or a team like the Rockets now with who else but Dwight Howard. Now, I'm really getting sick of a guy like Dwight Howard. He went to LA, said he was all excited to play in LA. He only lasted 1 year. Mind you, they had a lot of injuries. I think he just caused more problems than he was worth. I would really like for him to get back to, the player he was early on in his career with Orlando, and just kind of shut your mouth, man, and just play basketball. You're surrounded by James Harden and guys like Chandler Parsons. This time, younger guys, and hopefully you can go in there, Dwight, and just be the player that we all know you can be. And hopefully your contract will be played out for more than 1 year in Houston. So, guys, that's all I got tonight. Again, I'm Mr. Wheels 86, and I want to know what you think about the topics I talked about, and tell me what you think on these topics. If there's things that you want me to talk about, let me know. And I just want to know if you like it or what your thoughts are on the stuff that I talked about. So I'll see you next time. Take it easy.